Hello, so today we are going to do this problem, which is part of Leetcode Daily Challenge. Rearrange element by sign. So basically the problem says we get an array like this one here. And what we want to do is return a result array like here, such that we alternate between the signs. So we alternate between positive number and negative number. So you can see we put 3 positive, and then we put the next negative, then the next positive, which is 1, then the next negative, which is -5, then the next positive, which is 2, then the next negative, which is -4. The other thing here is that the order of the element, the order in which they are present in the array, we need to preserve that for the integers that have the same sign. So for positive numbers, we need to keep the same order in the array. So for example, that means 3 first, then comes 1. You can't put 1 here and put 3 here, because then we put these out of order. So that's the idea. Now, how do we solve this? Well, the simplest one is just to take group basically the positive numbers together. So we can just go through the array and get our positive numbers. So in this specific case, that would be 3, 1, 2. And then we take our negative numbers, which is going to be -2, -5, and -4. And we create a new array by just taking the first element from the remaining portion of each. So first we take 3, we remove it, and then we take -2, and then we take 1, and then we take -5, and then we take 2, and then we take -4. So pretty simple there. So let's do that first solution. We should be pretty straightforward. So we need just our result array, and then we need a positive index for the I'm not going to create extra arrays for positive or negative. We can just check out as we are going through the array. So we have the index of the negative portion, the index of the negative portion. Basically, with our result array, we know the positions need to be the first position, the even positions need to be for positive numbers, and the negative positions need to be for negative numbers, right? And so that's what we'll do exactly here. So first, the result needs to be the same length as the array of numbers, and these indices need to be first 0 for positive. So we know this position needs to be the positive number, the next one needs to be negative. So the next one is 1. And then we can just go through the array. Now, if the number is positive, we want to put it in positive position. And so that's just res at position I, positive I, and then we assign num there. And now we need to go +1, because this is +2 basically, because this position will be for negative number, or this position would be for positive, right? Because we'll have positive, negative, positive, negative, right? So +2 each time. And then same thing for negative. We need to have +2 for each of them. So like this, and then +2 here, and then we can return res length of the array, and this should work. So let's submit, and this gets accepted. Now in terms of time complexity, here this is O of n time. We are using this result array, so it's O of n space, O of n time, and O of n space. Now, one other way to do it, I think this problem is relatively easy. These easy problems are a good opportunity to learn more about whatever language you are using, in this case Python. So for example, in this specific case, what we are doing is alternating positions between positive and negative. And so we can actually just zip the positive and the negative numbers together first. So if we take this, what we can do is take something like this and just zip the negative and positive. So like this, and like 1 -5, and then 2 -4. And then once we zip them together, we can just sort of flatten this. So have 3 -2, 1 -5, 2 -4. How can we flatten it? Well, we can just go through these as lists, like if it was a list of 2 elements. So how do we do that? First, we need to zip the positive and negative. So how do we get the positive numbers? I'm just going to change this to A so that it's easy to write. So we can just say this is A for A in A, if A is positive. And then for the negative portion, we'll zip with negative numbers, okay? Now, once we get this, let's just first print it so you can see what it looks like. Can just return an empty here for now. Okay, so this we'll need to convert it to a list just so that we can see it. Okay, so you see it's exactly this format. Let's call this maybe just any placeholder. So let's just have it as B. So now how do we get from B we get this? Well, we just can do for A in the tuple, let's call it T, so this is the tuple. And then we can go for T in B, right? And so in Python, actually, this needs to be like this, and this will need to be A. So this would be the list we are looking for, okay? So let me actually just show you what this would look like. So if we just print this, we can see what it looks like. And that's exactly the list we want. So this is what we can return. Okay, if we run this, it looks good. If we submit, it does pass, okay? This is still the same thing, O of n time and O of n space, but yeah, it's just simpler. You might argue it's easier to write. Now, one other cool function I want to show here is Python's from iterable that is in chain module, where basically you can see what happens here. So for example, if you use it, let's say you have something like this, then you can see an ABC is a list, DEF is a list, but the iterable is both. So it sort of flattens it to A, B, C, D, E, F. So that's exactly what will happen here. If we use this chain from iterable like this on this list, then it will do the same thing, right? The same thing we did ABC here, converted it to single elements as part of a broader list. The same thing would happen here, because we would have 3 minus 2, 1 minus 5, and all the way till the end. So we can actually use that here. So instead of doing this sort of complicated list comprehension, we can just do chain from iterable B. Okay, if we run this, looks good. Submit. It does pass. Yeah, okay, so that's pretty much it for this problem. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one. Bye.